Welcome to another video. I just want to talk about something I've learned, a huge mistake that I've made and I'm now spending the next week or two trying to correct. If you're a new photographer, if you're a beginner, or if you are experienced but you've maybe got into some bad habits, then I am here to send you a message to sort this out before it gets too far and makes more time investment from you. You know, you're going to struggle to try and fix this if you don't make changes now. So I have, oh gosh, I'm surrounded by them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hard drives. I've got 10 years worth of photography and I am going through the painstaking process of organising my hard drives. Stupidly, when I first started all that 10 years ago, I didn't really start with a system. And because of that, I've got images all over the place. I've got duplicates of duplicates on different hard drives. So I'm having to go through and sort them all out. So if you're just starting photography, my wholehearted advice to you is to make sure you organise, categorise your images. Once you've exported them, name them, all of these things. I'm going to go through a step-by-step process of something that will be useful to you guys, and then at the end of the video I found my very first YouTube video which I'm going to show you guys and poke a bit of fun at, and also take away some lessons that if you're starting a YouTube channel, maybe you guys might find that quite useful as well. I've got a huge regret which I'll reveal at the end of the video. So let's get straight into organising your hard drives and why it's important. So it's important because I'm in a position now where I have to organise and sort everything out. I can't easily get to images. Images can get lost. Things can get lost in translation with your Lightroom catalogue and not being able to find the original edit, all of these problems. So my way, or what I've learned, is the best way to try and organise your images and cut down on storage space is import all of your raw images. So you go out and do a photo shoot, take all of your images into Lightroom, go through and flag, star, rate, however you want to do it. Go through the images and pick the ones that you like, that you feel like are of use. Not your portfolio images, but just images that you like, that you want to keep and potentially rework in the future or edit straight away. I then delete all the others from disk. So what you'll find is you'll go on a photo shoot and you may take up to 100, 200, 300 images in one day, or even in just a few hours. And especially when you start out in photography, you are taking pictures of everything. So over time, you will accumulate a huge backlog of images, and most of them haven't even made your final cut and they're just sat on hard drives eating up space. So when you import images, try and go through and cull the ones that aren't needed, delete them straight from disk if you know that you're not going to use them again, and that way all of your raw images are going to be images you'll use, images that have purpose and will take up that valuable space. The next thing that I find is quite useful is to make sure that you have suitable backups of your system. So if you are deleting stuff on hard drives, make sure you have a backup and a backup again. There is a rule of making sure that you back everything up 3 times. I have made the mistake of backing everything up within hard drives and then backing them up by mistake again within another folder. So I'm trying to cross-reference everything and it's just such a headache, but I think it will be worth it. And the next thing I wanted to say is, one beauty of going back through your hard drives is looking at old images and seeing if there's any hidden gems that you can polish and turn into beautiful, majestic, you know, I'm trying to think of something, stones, rocks, something that, you know, something that is of real value now, whereas at the time you might not have seen that there's a composition there. And over time, over the last 10 years, I feel like I have improved in my photography if I look back at some of my early images. So now going back and looking with a, you know, more experience, a better composition eye and slightly better editing skills, you know, my style has changed. So I'm going through the process of obviously organising my hard drives, which is painful, But I'm trying to see the positive in that I'm gaining potentially more images that I wouldn't have had before. And the last tip I would say is organise them into Lightroom catalogues. Have a catalogue on your main computer and then all of the rules on your hard drive, so that you don't have multiple catalogues on multiple hard drives. That can make things very confusing and very painful when you're going through multiple hard drives to try and organise your photos, because what Lightroom does is if you have images imported in and then you edit them, it creates a catalogue and it saves those edits. And then over time, if you then put in another hard drive and you've got more images and your catalogue saved in different locations, it can be quite easy that if you move one image from one hard drive to another, or if you delete it or move it to another space, that image is then lost on Lightroom. It finds it difficult to remember your edit. You can't access or re-edit that image because you've moved the original file. So it can all get quite messy, and I'm not the most technical person when it comes to Lightroom and in general just organising catalogues. It's just not my strong point. So that is my tips. Please don't make this mistake. If you are a new photographer, organise your images, name them if you can. So you import your raw images, name them through Lightroom, or just name them on your hard drive as what they are. So in the future, you know, if you want to go back 10 years time and look for that picture of a dragonfly, you've named it dragonfly, you can just search when you go into your folders and find things much more easier than I am now. But that's my tips for you guys. Let's move on to the video. So during my hunt for images and compositions and looking for all my old stuff, I stumbled across some old videos. Oh my god, they're laughable. They're really funny, and they're laughable because of the time. This is like 7 years ago, filming on YouTube with not very good equipment, and I'm also very young, and yeah, I won't spoil it, but I'm going to show you the video. And this is the first time I slept in my car at the base of Sugarloaf many moons ago. And I did a hike for sunrise and was very surprised by the conditions that I had, which, you know, made a fantastic experience for me and some really good images. So I'm going to put that on the screen now. Sit back, enjoy enjoy some very shaky footage. I promise I'm not drunk in this video, and I hope you guys find this useful. And then at the end of the video, I'll explain a little bit more about what I've learned over the last several years on YouTube. Enjoy. So we are starting off with some very drunken footage of some country roads. Oh man, I don't know what I was filming with, but it's not great. I've had to cut down a lot of this just to save your mental well-being, really. And the Sugarloaf, here it is, my old hunting ground. Been here before recently. So yes, I camped in my car 4 AM and got ready for the morning hike up Sugarloaf. So the sky's just beginning to catch over this way. The ascent is up there. I'm just following this path. I'm glad I've got some lighting with me just to see the route, but yeah, I can't even see the peak at the moment. But it's all part of the adventure. Almost at the top. Seems like I've been going for ages. So the sun's rising that way. And then the descent is in that mist down there. I'm walking for about half an hour, 40 minutes or so. I think the sun's just rising now, so there we go. So we are in a cloud inversion. I didn't realise I was in a cloud inversion. And there it is. What a beautiful view. So hiking through the mist, I didn't know that I was amongst a lower cloud. When I woke up, I thought, crap weather, go home. I made it about half an hour in. Oh, check it out. Pink trousers and a pink jacket. God help me. And gaiters with hiking boots. Oh dear. Oh dear, I didn't know how to really dress for the outdoors back then. Yeah, I got half an hour into the walk and God, I was ready to turn back because I thought the weather was crap. I didn't realise that it was what was waiting for me on top of this mountain was this stunning, beautiful golden light, rolling misty clouds coming through. So yeah, it was a pretty cool first car camp. I was blown away, to be honest. Not quite sure what to say about my attire though. I'm quite embarrassed. I don't have that pink jacket anymore. God, it's quite a sight, isn't it? There it is again. I was trying to figure out if I was wearing Wellington boots or if I was wearing hiking boots with gaiters, and it is yeah, hiking boots with gaiters. But just chilling now, off to the edge of the earth, as it felt when I arrived at the top of there. What was quite nice was that there was no one around. It was completely quiet, really still. I just had these mountains just rolling at my feet. Yep, little feet dangle there. And the mist coming through, it was just phenomenal. So I actually do some photography, and I talk about filters and my very early days of doing a landscape photography vlog. And I'm pretty... Oh, no, she's got a fringe, a massive fringe. That's long gone now. So what I'm trying to capture here is the cloud rolling through the farmland and the fields. I'm doing quite a long exposure. The settings that I've been using are around 15 seconds, f-stop 22, and my ISO is at about 100 to low. Now I've got the little stopper, which is a leaf filter on the front of the lens. I'm just going to remove that and you'll see the difference. So it's like sunglasses for cameras, really, and it just helps you do those long exposure pictures. I mean, taking a picture now with these current settings is perfect, and I've been taking a couple to see how they come out. But by putting this in front, I can adjust the settings to up the aperture and slow down the shutter speed, which means I can take long exposures, where this current setting I wouldn't be able to do that. So we'll see how those pictures come out. But as you can see to the left, where the sun is, it's burning off all the cloud. So the sun's so bright, it's just all the water's just evaporating. Whereas if you look to the right, it's just so dense. It's like its own little cloud system. So I'm pretty much finished up here now. I'm going to make the descent down into the clouds, away from the sun. Hopefully, by the time we get down there, most of it would have burnt off. But yeah, maybe I'll get some cool misty shots on the way down. And there we are, off again, over to the viewpoint. The sun's risen now. I think I came away with some shots, but what I have learned from this trip, so say you're starting out and you're using filters and neutral density filters, a couple of mistakes here, and this is some many years ago. A couple of mistakes I made here. You know, I would crop this image out, get rid of that foreground. This one, just focus in on the background and the colours, get rid of that mound of grass. I quite like this one, but I'm more interested in what's going on the right hand side, and getting close into those rolling misty mountains. And again, this one's not too bad. And this is probably the winner shot. I'm pretty happy with this one. This was one of my favourites, actually. And again, those mountains in the background, would have gone telephoto with those now. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. And yeah, drop my tags there. It's not changed. Oh, hope you have enjoyed that video and you found it useful. Now this leads me to my finale, my big learning experience from being on YouTube for 7 years, which feels crazy to say. 7 years I've been on YouTube, 7 years I've been making landscape photography videos, and sadly my profile doesn't reflect that. And that's because in truth, I've been doing it for 7 years, but I've not been doing it consistently for 7 years. And that's probably one of my biggest regrets and learning points that I want to share with you if you're thinking of doing a YouTube channel, and that is to stay consistent. If I'd have stayed consistent several years ago, who knows where the channel would be now. And it's easy to look back with rose-tinted glasses, and there's no point feeling regret if you can't change it. So what's the point in looking back? I'm very positive mindset. It doesn't matter. What's meant to be will be. But if you are thinking of doing it yourself from now, I want to give you the learning experiences. Stay consistent. It might take your time, it might be arduous, it might be a lot of work in your own personal time, but I think in the long run it can be worth it. And I am very grateful for the time I had where I didn't have the pressures of a YouTube channel constantly. I was in my early 20s, my mid 20s, or several years ago I was in my 20s. I'm in my 30s now, and I had a great time. I really enjoyed life. I really enjoyed music and gigs and friends and travel, and I prioritised that over a career on YouTube. And now I feel like that was the right decision at the time, but now I am very much taking YouTube seriously, and I want to make this a big part of my life, of sharing my adventures, inspiring other people, and doing landscape photography, because it's other YouTubers that inspired me to go out for that sunrise, to go out hiking, to go out and enjoy the elements. So I want to give that back, and who doesn't want to do the thing that they most enjoy, which can give me a lot back and give other people some value as well. So yeah, expect me to now be consistent and posting every 1 to 2 weeks, as I've said previously, and yeah, it will be mixed up a little bit with some videos like this, but mainly out in nature, landscape photography, connecting with where you are, some poetry, and a mix of sort of creative writing and inspiration to ignite that passion within you. That if you're feeling like you're struggling to get out of the house, or if you're hitting a creative block, the best way to punch through that is to see other people, be inspired by their work, be inspired by their stories or by their videos. So I'm going to leave you there. Thank you so much for joining this week's video, and I hope to see you in the next. Take care.